Oxford City Council is delighted to launch our new Charter for Cleaner Air, and we're teaming up with two great environmental campaigning organisations who have a track record in making real change in the environmental arena, Greenpeace and Friends of the Earth. And as part of our charter, we're calling on government to make 10 crucial changes, because as a local authority, we're hitting the limits in terms of what we can achieve in reducing emissions. We need more powers and we need more funding, and so we're calling on government to make 10 crucial changes. The first of these is to show national leadership in removing the most polluting vehicles from our road. Oxford's already leading the world in producing the first zero emission zone, which will be removing fossil fuel vehicles from our city centre streets, but we know that other local authorities need support from government to bring in clean air zones. Our second point calls for greater investment in public transport, and crucially that involves cycling and walking. We need to be providing a real modal shift. Thirdly, we want government to be more ambitious. We want them to bring in the ban on diesel vehicles before their stated ambition of 2040. We want them to bring that forward by a whole 10 years, because we think that over those 10 years we can help to reduce the harmful impacts for many very vulnerable people. Our fourth point is to reduce the perverse fiscal incentives which encourage people to stay in diesel vehicles. We want government to be considering how they can get people out of their diesel vehicles into electric vehicles, but also out of their cars and vans onto bikes and walking. Our fifth point is to accelerate the zero emission revolution by investing in charging infrastructure. We know that there's still a lot of people in the city who are concerned that electric vehicle batteries don't allow them to go from point A to a faraway point B. We're seeing electric vehicle battery charging and batteries improving significantly. We're seeing that electric vehicles can go further and faster, that they can be charged faster and more simply. And we want the City Council to be supported by the government to bring in yet more charging infrastructure points. We've already secured significant sums of money in order to install electric vehicle charging points, but we need the number of points in the city to be keeping up with the number of vehicles in the city. Our sixth point is to make sure that if we are shifting over to electric vehicles from diesel vehicles, that we're not powering those electric vehicles from fossil fuels. We need to be making sure that as much as possible we're removing fossil fuels from the city and from the country. Our seventh point is about tightening up our legal limits on air pollution. There is no such thing as a safe level on air pollution. We want to bring it down to the lowest possible limits, and we're looking forward to seeing what the World Health Organization have to say in bringing forward their suggestions of what that level should be. Our eighth point is about asking government, frankly, to just listen to what we're saying as a city council. We collect data on the levels of air pollution across the city, but we know that government doesn't pay attention to all the data that we send them, and that means that they don't give us the right amount of support. We need government to be giving us the right amount of support by paying attention to our data. Our ninth point is that we bring in a Clean Air Act or some kind of environmental safeguards in statute, so that after Brexit, this council and other councils around the country are being supported by government. We need to be making sure that a government which has been unable to meet its targets over the last 8 years is going to be held account by an independent watchdog, and that watchdog is going to have serious teeth so it can hold the government really accountable. And our final point is we know that more people in the city are becoming more aware about air pollution and the harmful health impacts of air pollution, but we've still got a job to do in raising awareness. That's partly why we're making this video. It's partly why we're producing a charter for cleaner air. We need more people in the city and around the country to be aware about air pollution and its harmful impacts. And so we're calling on government to bring in a national public health education campaign, as well as alert systems to highlight the dangers of air pollution. These are our 10 points. We're looking forward to hearing what government have to say, and we're really proud as a city council to have teamed up with Greenpeace and Friends of the Earth.